count 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to.
No, I need you to 3, 2, 1.
3,
do it.
3, 2, 1. Again, welcome to WCEG talkradio.com. I'm Jeevan Brown, joined by just myself. This is my first time being back since the pandemic started. Well, first time for the year 2020. I have two special guests today, Jae Parker, right? Correct? Jae Parks, and Donald. David Mitchell. David actually used to be my co-host, but then he left me, and now I'm here all by myself. But he's back today with a new business. How do you all pronounce the last part of your business? Deuce.
History.
Oh, history. Oh, yeah.
Exactly. It's history. Yeah.
How you all doing today?
I'm blessed, brethren. Can't complain.
I got a heavy heart, just what's going on in the climate, in the culture, what's going on in our communities. But I'm here. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. Thank you, Miss Penny and WCEG Talk Radio. Thank you guys for having us. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about you all's new business venture.
Do you want to go first, Deuce, or do you want me? Basically, small backstory. Deuce moved out here to Vegas. I was already out here for a couple of years. A mutual friend put us together. We started to do Comic-Cons, which most people might not know. Comic-Cons is the conventions where you go and you see superheroes, people sell clothing, comic books, you see stars, normal people. It's just a good time. And Deuce and I started to start that business, and we started to try to brand ourselves within that business. And once we started branding ourselves within that business, we started to branch off into other things that I used to do prior to this and things he used to do prior to this. And we decided to just make it a household name.
How did you two meet?
A friend of mine, Jamal, he's from Detroit, and Deuce is from Detroit. And me and Jamal have been cool for about 5 years, maybe 7, maybe a little bit longer than that. And he met Deuce on a whim, and he found out he was an artist. He was like, I need you to meet this other artist. And we kind of linked up. We sat down at a Starbucks, and we literally just kind of started drawing from that point on.
I had chemistry.
He told me, yeah, natural, organic for the most part. And that's not, at this time in life, that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
So it kind of just pieced itself together, and we had similar ideas, and we come from a similar era, so it just kind of fell together real easy.
Yeah. And you grew up in Harlem?
Yes, facts.
I read that you said that being an artist saved your life. How did it save your life?
Honestly, brother, originally I started drawing like in the 4th grade, and my parents, my mom and my grandmother didn't think I could draw, because you draw little things around the house. They're like, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I drew Sojourner Truth in the 4th grade, and I won an award for the whole city down, and it was in City Hall, and I started then.
It was that good?
Yeah, it was, bro. Like, it should be there right now. It should still be in City Hall right now.
Oh, it's still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah, it's a fact. Yeah, it should still be there. And my mother didn't believe it. When I did it, when I won, she was super surprised. But then I kind of shaded away from drawing. Got caught up in the streets, doing street stuff. But it always saved me because I was always different from everybody else drawing. Like, they were like, yo, that dude draws. Hey, yo, draw me this tattoo. Yo, draw me this picture. So it was always something that was channeling me away from everything else. And it was something that I could breathe no matter what. If I was angry, if I was sad, happy, something nobody could take away from me. And it literally stopped me from doing 1,000 other things. Like, it literally.
Wow. And David, you can draw too?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could draw. I did not know that.
He get on me all the time. It's just, I've been drawing all my life, man. Drawing all my life.
So you never wanted to take it, like, go deep into it, or like be like a real, like, an artist?
Well, actually, that's really where like when I was a kid, of course, I was fantasizing and let my imagination flow with, the comics and the cartoons and stuff like everybody else. But then, once I got a little bit older, I started taking the craft a little bit more seriously and just tried different mediums. And, for a good little stint, I was doing art shows when I was in Atlanta. I got my bachelor's degree in art. So, I actually went to school for it.
Right.
And actually learned and learned these different trades, different techniques, stuff like that. But my passion was always with, cartoons, comics, just letting my imagination go. And how can I visualize it and let everybody else see what's in my head,
Right.
And and bring it to life. Exactly.
So what all does Deuce History do? What all is it about? I never really read comics like that, so I'm a novice. So break it down to me the way I can understand what all. I went to your all's website. I saw you can buy comics on there. I saw you got the metal comics. Tell me a little bit about that. Break it down for me for somebody that don't know nothing about comics. I know a little bit, but I'm not that deep into it.
Well, first, we haven't presented any of our IP. When I mean IP, intellectual properties yet. So most of the artwork that's on our site, deucehistory.com, is mostly fan art. So it's mostly properties that you've already seen, like your Supermans, your Spider-Mans, your Batman, and we just drew it and we put them up because since we're in this time of COVID-19. We were like, people need something to escape, because when you see a piece of art, especially when it's the type of art that we do and history, he's good for it. It takes you back to that moment. Like if you see what's your favorite movie?
Mine?
Yeah. Off the top.
Belly.
Okay. So if you see a picture, a rendition of Belly, right, and that's your favorite movie, it takes you back to that moment. Like, dang, I remember what I was doing at this time.
I would get the shirt.
Exactly. You'll more than likely buy it, and that's the void where we hit. And the second part of that is, since all of the comic book conventions have been closed due to this pandemic, it's like, well, why don't we bring and I was like, I think we should do this. I think it's about time, because we actually talked about it last year. But we were so busy in the convention scene, making sure things are right, how we need to tweak this, tweak that, how we can make things better, and grow. And then we click and learn each other and how we do business, how we work well with each other, with each other's weaknesses and stuff like that. And then we got to the point now where we got the opportunity to do our own store. And what does that look like? And what can we provide to people? And when you said the metals, like, I'll let history talk about it, what we're the first to actually do when it comes to these metal comic books. You got your metal with you, Jay?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, we're the first artists to actually have not a metal sketch cover, not a metal cover on a comic book, but we're the first artists, both of them, to actually have a metal cover with an original artwork on it, and we're the first to have a metal cover with original artwork autographed by a celebrity, and it's encapsulated and it's time-based. As far as we know, we are the first two to ever do it.
That's tight.
There have been others that have metal covers printed, but we're the first to have original artwork on a metal sketch cover and encapsulated.
So you all drew everything that's on the site?
Yes, that's on the site. Yes, sir.
No, but you all drew everything on the site.
Yeah, we drew the cover. Of course, it's a regular comic book.
Yeah.
But we drew by hand, this image on the cover, and it's encapsulated.
Wow. And everything on the website you all drew?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. Y'all been working.
Yeah, we've been working. We've been putting in work, man. We have between the both of us, we have over 200 images of just print. And we have 3 art books, Jay?
Yeah, 3. 3, and I'm going to say 2 in the making.
I'm proud of you, man. I'm looking on the site right now. I mean, it's official. Like, I'm looking at it right now. This is tight. How long did it take you all to come up with, like, get everything done, the website, all the work? Like, how long has this been in the works? Like, how long did it take you, like, to finally, from conception to getting it opening the website, launching the website?
Oh, man. Go ahead.
The process itself probably took, well, like he said, we worked on it since last year. So that being said, actual finalizing thoughts and things of that nature, it took about maybe 6 months for real, because it's not really the ideas, it's the POS and the connecting and the codes and getting, because basically we manufacture a third party, so we don't have to print everything. We have the thing what's called print on demand. So you deal with a company and they basically print everything on demand. So when somebody places the order, it comes from them. Trying to find that kind of company, trying to find other companies, like we do t-shirts, we do pins, buttons. I mean, there's nothing, hats, whatever, that the lane is to put something on a design. That's pretty much what we do. So it was more or less taking all those pieces and combining them to one home ground. And that's what really took the longest for the most part.
Wow, that's amazing. And Jay, you do graffiti?
Yes. I started out just like anybody else, tagging on anything. You have a tag name, start tagging on everything.
Graffiti is illegal. Graffiti is illegal, right?
Legal now?
Yeah, it's illegal. Sometimes I don't be knowing if graffiti is illegal or not, because it be everywhere and it looks nice sometimes.
So this is how it works. Graffiti technically is still illegal. Still can't do it. But what happens is, if you become such a good artist, graffiti looks amazing when it's done properly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you walk past, it's like, oh, painting is one thing. To do it with a graffiti can is a whole other thing.
Try to get a picture.
Yeah. So basically, it's legal when the business allows you to do it on their property.
Right.
So when you see murals and things of that nature, it's legal because that business. And the funny thing is, the only way to get known is by doing illegal stuff. Right. So, like, you do illegals, you're spraying everywhere, and then somebody's like, yo, that's history over there. That's history. And then sooner or later, the business owner was like, hey, you want to come over here and do such and such? And then that's just that's the organic nature of art. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is. And
being that you're from New York, who are some of your favorite artists? I think wasn't Basquiat from there?
Yeah, Basquiat was from there. Everybody's from pretty much a lot of people. One of my favorite artists, I knew him, Stan 153. He passed away about a year ago, 2 years ago. We knew him personally. He was super big in the graffiti scene. Like, he was like, I grew up and I grew up around him, and I started drawing because of him. And he just changed my mind. Basquiat was a different type of groundbreaking. Basquiat showed you that you can do you and really get paid for it and respected for it on a whole different level.
Who are some of your favorite artists, David?
Mine, I can't. It's like I can't think of the names. I see the images in my head though. I'm horrible with names.
Jim Lee, bro. Jim Lee.
Well, I was gonna get to that. I'm talking about, like, he said artist. I was about to get to comic artist, but he said artist.
Well, that too.
You dropping Basquiat and all.
Well, you know, that's what everybody knows.
I gotta follow. You feel I gotta follow when he dropped Basquiat. You know, I can't come with, just Jim Lee right off the bat. You know what I mean? But Jim Lee is like and he's a famous comic book artist. He's like my favorite artist, comic artist. And then like Art Germ, I really love his work. Marcus the Visual out of Atlanta. I met him a couple times.
Hi, Cedric.
Really dope.
Penny, we can hear you.
I'm good. Is this you signing in?
Penny, we can hear Penny.
Okay. Okay, well, see, you have Galaxy.
Yeah, she tell her she needs to mute.
Penny,
you need to mute.
Penny, you need to mute yourself, Penny. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you got like Marcus the Visual, which is there in Atlanta, and you got who else? It's so many. Instagram artists, a lot of dope Instagram artists. There's too many even names, like Art Vader, and even Jay. I really look up to the way he thinks and his ideas, and it pushes me as an artist to push my ideas in the envelope and what we do together. And yeah, man,
That's right. So, growing up, were you all book collectors, comic book collectors growing up?
Absolutely.
I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
Absolutely.
I said, were you all comic book collectors growing up?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was. I just stopped when the story like started to fall off because they had brought in like digital coloring, and then they put all the money in the coloring side, and then stories dropped because they weren't paying the rights.
Uh-huh.
And then I was adolescent age trying to be cool, so it kind of like we got to dwindle off.
I was a nerd before nerds were cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always tell people I'm like 35% nerd because I was more in the street than anything, but it was having comic books, like certain people were like, oh, that's dope. Some people like, you reading comic books, bro? Like, what are you doing reading comic books? People will look at you real weird. So before the Naruto and all this stuff is bouncing around and everybody got a meme and everybody thinks they know. I mean, I got people, little girls trying to tell me about stuff that I've been doing forever. Like, they know what this is. I'm like, yo, you're just reading it. I was there when it was foundated, like you put the foundation down. Like, so it's just funny. I love the culture, like the pop culture, because the pop culture allows people to just mesh and become one. Like, because when we go to Comic Con, there is no hatred. In fact, it is the most non-hatred zone you will ever see in your life. It doesn't matter where you're from. People don't even speak the same language, but if you rock with a certain character, you're brothers for life. Like, that's just what it is. It's the most utopia ground. Like, what people want peace to be, go to a convention and you will see that. And I kid you not, bro. Like, it is the most peaceful place you could possibly ever go. Like, any moment in time. I
know sometimes artists have artist block, creative blocks. What inspires y'all? What inspires you to go on or to create?
I would say each other, but I would say each other for real. That's what I would say. There are times that drawing, you on fire. It's like NBA Jam. You on fire. You know what I mean? You're on fire and you can keep going, but as soon as that flame go out, you kind of like, But as artists, we have other lanes. Like, for instance, David does a lot of writing. And when he doesn't feel like drawing, he taps into his writing. And he does a lot of script writing. So that's almost like directing. So he gets into that. Me, I have T-shirts. I got a skateboard company. I'm painting, sculpture, anything artistic I pretty much do. So we kind of tap into those other realms that we have and try to bounce it off each other. And then something new always pops up. The flame doesn't go out for long because art is everywhere. So it's not like being a lawyer or anything like that. It's everywhere. It's in our clothes, it's in our hats, it's in our glasses, the house, whatever. nothing that's on this earth that hasn't been drawn yet, and that's not naturally made by God, that hasn't been drawn yet. That's standing right now. Something had to be artistically put together for that to happen. So that is why it doesn't last long. You know what I mean? I'm sure Deuce could even add on to it even more and tell you how the process works.
What inspires you?
Me, well, he always kicking my butt. Like, get the drawing, man. What you doing? You sleeping, man. I only been sleep. I only had like 2 hours sleep. It don't matter, man. So, you know, he said on me, which I love. You know, I work better with accountability. You know what I mean? And so when I get in those times, cause we all hit that block. It's like, you know, you just switch over. You know what I mean, to another lane. It's like, even though we're creative, we create in different ways, and it's like different pools, and you just pull different parts of your personality. Like, you know, I may want to go on a writing binge and just think about story creation for 6 months. You know, I may want to, you know, learn how to do digital art. I may want to learn how to do videography. I may want to learn how to do photography. It's still all art at the end of the day.
Right.
And you know, we constantly want to be challenged. And that's the thing what artists really are. We challenge ourselves with each piece that we do. You know, like, how can I make this better? You know, how can I push the envelope? You know, if you're an artist that just do the same thing because that's what you get paid, there's some people like that. That's just not the type of artists we are. You know, we push each other to be better. We want to be the best version of ourselves. And as creatives, because I would prefer to call myself a creative over an artist.
Right.
You know, because, you know, we create everything we do. We create the culture. You know, we create, you know, if you want to delve into music, it's still coming from the same part of the brain. Right. You know, it's just however we decide to express ourselves and express that creativity.
Right. What made you move from Atlanta to Vegas?
That's a loaded question. In short, it was you know, I was in Atlanta for 16 years, you know, from 01 to 17, you know, so I was getting tired of it, you know, and the change, which, you know, I may be going back, I don't know, but
miss it.
I had an opportunity that, you know, to start up a business, and that relationship with South, and it led me to start and create some new stuff, being creatively, and then that's when I met my brother Jay. That's when I started Black Hero Month, which I created, and
hold on, stop.
You started rocking.
You said you started Black Hero Month?
Yeah, it's something called Black Hero Month, which is right here, to where every February I focus on Black heroes in comics, anime, pop culture, whatever they get overlooked or don't get they, you know, just do. And I make a list of 28 characters, and I draw them all in the month of February and put them in the art book. And yeah, just try to put my time.
Is there a process you have to go through to get something to be like an official month? Because every day or a day, it's like every day I see something like today is National World Day, National Headphones Day. Is it something you have to go through to get that actual done?
Well, no, it's just whatever catches on. Because, you know, in the artist community, there's like a lot of different challenges. Like, there's a huge one that started maybe about 8 or 9 years ago, or maybe even 11, called Inktober. Made by a guy named Jae Parks. And every October, all he does is say he has a list, and he just wants you to draw, ink, whatever you want to do. You can follow his list or not, but it's to get artists just to continue to draw and create and draw every day. Because if you draw every day, the more consistent you draw, the better your hand gets, better that muscle memory gets. And a few people have, like Marcus the Visual, that's in Atlanta. He came up with Swap Member, and with Swaptober, he just didn't want to give a October. So he's sitting in the middle of October and to the middle of November, where he switches the gender of your favorite character for every day of the month, and he draws one for every day of the month. And I said, you know what? Since in our space of nerds, when we're in the Comic-Con, it's not too many faces like us that got taken. Like, we can count on one hand how many people of, Black people that are in the room. Right. So we have our niche, and Black Hero Month just fit for what we got. And some of our, those characters are beloved. Some people want to see you won't find, a Bruce Leroy art print almost anywhere.
Right.
You'll see Superman everywhere. You'll see a Dragon Ball Z everywhere. You're not gonna see a Junkyard Dog or a Superfly, a Dolomite art print. But yet, until you come to our booth, we got all that Black culture. You like, oh snap, you know what I mean? And that's where we thrive.
Right. It's like, how is everything going on right now out in the world affecting you all creatively, mentally, every which way?
I would say creatively, it doesn't stop. It's kind of like hip hop. When you're a writer, you got so many things going on in your life. You try to write all about it. And the best thing I say is with Eminem's early work was so deep because he had people attacking him all the time,
right?
Constantly, the Jews, the Muslims, whatever. Whatever team from there was attacking them, so there's so much to write about. The same thing as an artist. When there's so much going on, there's so much to draw. And in fact, there's not enough time to draw as many ideas that we bounce off each other. It over bombards your brain. But the only thing I can say that this quarantine has done is just slowed up business when it comes to deliveries, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Some things coming in a week, that means 2 months. Like, so things were slowing up, but like creative wise, anything can spark creativity, happiness, anger, sadness, whatever the case is. You just have to, like I said, like when I said it saved my life, it did, due to the fact that it allowed me to dive in to certain things where most might have went another way. It just allows you to breathe different than anybody else. If I couldn't draw, man, I don't even know.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't even know. I know I'd probably be doing business, but not on this level of business that me and my man are doing right now. So it doesn't affect us as most would. You know what I mean? As in getting them in their feelings, being depressed about it. That's the last thing that's probably going to ever happen whenever something goes on in this world.
What about you, David?
With me, let me say this, is that when you're an artist, it's a lonely thing because you're by yourself all the time in your thoughts, creating. And for a majority of artists, I've been lucky enough, to meet my brother here. So we constantly bounce stuff off of each other. And like, oh, what about this idea? What about this? So we're constantly creating and we're constantly feeding to each other. And like he said, it's not enough time. So it's like we got backlog of so many dope ideas that we haven't even started on. So it's like, okay, when I get tired of doing this one thing that we gotta get done, let me jump over here, let me reach over here to the bag and let me just play with it, get it started, because it don't got no timeline for us that we set. Right. And that's how it's been working for us, so where we just bounce off each other. We, even though it's just us two, we are our own community.
Right.
And that's what even when in Atlanta, I had a community of artists. It was just 3, 4, 5 of us. And we worked off of each other and fed into each other and poured into each other to bounce out ideas and really keep the creativity going and knowing what we need to do next. Right. So we don't ever get stagnant.
Yeah. Well, and I was I was referencing to everything that like happened in the last few days with the protests in Atlanta and Houston and New York. How's that affecting you?
You want to go first, man?
Cause I know David. I used to be on air with him, and he always has a lot to say. He's pretty good at that.
I got a lot to say. It's just I'm gonna let him go ahead because this morning it was fresh on his heart. So go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I've been a little bit more emotional about it. Like, you know, real rap. You know, I've been crying all morning about it. You know, just out of anger, out of sadness. You know, and I talked to Brother Jay last night, and I said, now, I don't have any kids. Mm-hmm. But I said, what do I tell my unborn son? How he can make it home safe, even if he does everything correctly and dealing with the law. Right. He does everything right. You can have your hands, keep him up, put him outside the door. You can do all of that and still die. And at the end of the day, you still a nigga in the coop. Per Kanye. Give him his credit. So y'all are trying to get sued. But it started to give me questions that I never had before. Like, do I want to stay here in the state? Is it worth staying here? Why should I stay here when now we live so globally? You know, but then how would that affect me and my brother here if I just up and move? Because I don't have any time. I don't have a wife. I don't have no kids. So I can go wherever I want to go. Right. But then what about my mom and what about my sister?
Exactly.
What about the business I done started and an investment I done put in with me and history here? So it's like I'm faced with all of this stuff. And then I'm at the age where I'm like older, so I need to start, you know, planning for the future, you know, putting some roots down, you know, starting a family if I'm gonna have one. Like all this hit me at one time. It's like, what do I do? And I'm frustrated because people just won't leave us alone. Yeah. Like we the most peaceful people. We just want to mind our own business, but yet you got these Karens coming in because we having a barbecue, having a good time.
They're obsessed with us.
Huh?
Yeah, I feel like they're obsessed with us.
Yeah, you know, you gonna rape and you know they rape and steal our culture, everything we do, and don't compensate us for it either. You know, and then you know I give kudos to brother Killer Mike and T.I., but then I'm like, what about the rest of these celebrities? You so worried about your pocket that we dying. You got to remember, we're the ones that's keeping all of you bankable. Hip hop did its thing. Hip hop got us through the quarantine, sanely, right? That's what music does. They did what they were supposed to do. But what about all these other people? What about all these other people that got platforms? Just think if a Beyonce or a Jay-Z said, hey guys, don't spend your money on the July 7th memo that went out. What would happen? Right. But yet they so afraid and they so bought because they're cowards that they won't do it. Any of them. Where's your Giselle? Where's your whatever? Whoever else. You know what I'm saying? If you for the cause, because guess what? If we all dead, you still ain't gonna get no money. Now what? You're replaceable just like us. See, it's all cool until the rubber hits the road and that's your son that's out there on the street that's dead. That's your daughter that's out there that got strangled. Because, you know, and then, you know, it ain't just black men, the sisters too. Like, they have to put us in a position and to hold us up when we getting beat up like this. You know, and I'm just tired of it, you know. I had to call my father today just to hear his voice and say, how do I deal it? And he told me today, he said, son, I've been dealing with this, you know, since before you was born when I was a kid. And he's from Birmingham, Bessemer, Alabama. And said that when he was 8, 9 years old, he had to listen for the cars. And if he heard a whole bunch of white guys in the truck sound like they was drunk, he had to go dart into the woods till they left. Otherwise, he's gonna be a dead nigga in the street.
So do you agree with all the the looting and stuff going on right now and what's happening?
No,
Yes,
I don't.
I don't agree, but I understand.
Listen.
I understand it. I'm sorry. Let me just say one thing, Jay, and I'm handling it.
Because you already know.
Yeah, I understand it, but I'm numb to it because they already know how to deal with that. They're starting to riot. Let's be clear about that too.
Right.
You know, they're the ones starting to put these undercover police officers in there,
having them knocking down windows and stuff like that.
Exactly, but then it's like they only understand one language, and that's money. Until you start messing with their money, they ain't gonna do nothing. They're gonna still keep killing. They're gonna still keep stealing from us. They're gonna still keep incarcerating us. They still gonna create all these laws against us. Mess with their money, that's when everything gonna stop.
Right.
Period. Or either violence. Unless we're gonna arm ourselves and start killing every single cop that we see until something has changed. It's either one of those two things that's gonna make everything stop. Period.
You're right. And you Jay?
My bad, Jay. I'm sorry.
No, you good, baby. Because I know you had it on your chest, man. You know, it's a systematic breakdown, bro. I mean, these chess pieces have been put into place years before we were born, and we're playing a game that has been manufactured, rebuilt, resold, and restructured all over again, and we're jumping into it. This is a game that they've been playing for decades and years. So, and me and Deuce had this conversation last night, and I told him it was the money has to be effective. The rioting and the protesting is a waste of time. They already have a plan for that. There's already a strategy for that. People have been protesting and rioting for over 200 years almost, it feels like. So there's already a plan for that. So when you run the streets, they already got a plan. That's why they started strategically putting cops there, because they want to get the rioting. Like I told Deuce last night, he was like, why do you think they do that? And I was like, simple, bro. If the rioting starts, then your mind is not focused on the task at hand. Because the mayor and the governor have to get involved with the city, and the city has to shut down the people, and then like the people are rioting. Now taxpayers owe this on this building and owe this on the building, and it's not about Floyd anymore. So when you do that, you do one thing here, and then something else is going on over here. So when they start to riot, but if you notice, the people weren't really rioting because they know rioting only takes away from the true story. So that is why they set these cops and these law enforcement in certain places to start the riots. So the fact that you can take your eyes off the prize. So when you take your eyes off the prize, then you have to then that push the case back even more. Because what happens is when you push that case back even more, now you have to deal with the city cases. Every city has a problem. So now we have to deal with the problems in the city. What's wrong with the black people in this city? What business they shut down in this city? What laws do we have to put in this city? And it never gets to what really happened to the individual. So that's how this all ends up playing out. But the thing about it is, man, the money is the issue. I came up with a plan when we were out here when I think Eric Gardner got choked out a couple of years ago. That was my first protest because I wanted to see what it was about. We walked the streets of Vegas, and I got up there and I said that this is all fun and games. This is all good for the people to get together and everything. I said, but it needs to be bigger. We need to literally just start dealing with them. What if we didn't work for one day? Like the whole city, every brown person, I don't just mean black, I mean Latino, and Indian, doesn't matter, Native American. What if we didn't work for one whole day? Look what's going on right now in this world for not working.
Right.
They're panicking. Gas prices are going crazy. People talking about business shut down forever. So could you imagine in one city, if you didn't work for one single day, possibly two? Nobody likes their job anyway. Let's keep it 100. 90% of the people working don't like their job anyway. So if you and we used to have a barter system. So for instance, if you weren't working and we lived near each other, you'd be like, man, I got this light bill. Look, I only got $200, brother. Take this $200 and see what we can do. And that's the problem, the connection of the people. So if everybody didn't work for that day and somebody's phone bill or whatever is done and we work within our network, they would come to us because the people hold the power. It's been proven over history. When the bus company stopped, when black people started riding the bus, what happened? They came begging to us like, yo, okay, we'll change the laws for you. because the people hold the power.
Right.
We're the biggest consumers in the world. We hold the power. If you stop working or if you stop purchasing, like T.I. is talking about doing July 7th, whatever the situation is, when you start doing these things, they have no choice. They can hold all the power they want to because they hold the money, but once the people stop reacting to them, people hold the power. And running through the streets and arguing to people and doing all this and protesting and standing out there telling us like what our rights are, it's not going to get anything done. That's a waste of time. We either strategize or move on, bro.
Right.
Either strategize or cry in the corner like what most people are doing. And I just have to say this. I'm so sick of people recording. If you're not going to help, don't waste your time. Record it and call the police. Call more police. If you sit there and videotape, bro, you're worse than the man doing what he's doing. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I told David and I told my own kids, I got 2 boys. I said, if it was me, I would have bum rushed that cop a long time ago. Now, mind you, he might have arrested me. He might have beat me. He might have tried to shoot me. In the mind frame of somebody bum rush you and they put their hands behind your head, I just don't see him shooting me. But if it happens, it happens. I just know that Floyd wouldn't be dead right now. Is what I'm trying to say. Because the odds are he's not going to jump back on Floyd, put his knee back on his neck. The attention's going to be eradicated, and then that might spark somebody to do something else. And this is why it doesn't happen in front of people like me. Because I just know how I am. Like, if it happens in front of me, it's not going down like that. And
you're one of the people like me. Why don't it never happen when I'm there? Why don't it never?
Because God knows, bro. I'm going to tell you right now, God knows, bro. If it happens in front of you, most likely you're not going to be here.
Right.
And you might have a greater purpose. Or if it happens in front of you, it might spark a change that's not ready for this world.
Right.
And that's the reason why it doesn't happen for brothers like me and you, because if it did, then I have no regrets. My son was like, Dad, well, what about you not being here no more? I said, son, how can I look you in your eye and say I'm a father and say I'm a man when I said, oh, I recorded, I saw the whole thing. It was crazy. This was going on, and he died right in front of me. What kind of story is that to tell? That's a waste of time, bro. I don't mean to cut you,
bro.
I'm sorry. I got long-winded, man.
I gotta get the got another artist that joined us. I don't know if you all can see him, but his name is Cedric Brown, and the Cedric Brown Collections. You may not know him, but you may have seen some of his work on artists like Wale, Lynn Whitfield, and a few other artists. I've seen he has scarves, dresses, ties, and a lot of different things. How you doing, brother? I can't hear you. You on mute?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm going good. Can't complain at all. How did you get started with Cedric Brown Collections?
Okay, I've been in business now for 5 years, and I started it right just about when I graduated from college. And as a kid, I always had a passion for fashion. Back in 5th grade, I discovered what a fashion designer was. And I was like, I want to be like Sean John and Ralph Lauren. I want to have my own clothing line. And throughout elementary school, middle school, high school, and now college, I stuck with my dreams and wanted to pursue having my own clothing line. And so the background of my brand is I'm an artist and also I'm a fashion designer. So all the textile work on my accessories and my garments, they feature my original artwork. And so my slogan is you can hang them on the wall or you can wear them to the mall.
Yeah, that's tight. What school you went to SCAD, right?
Yes, sir, I did. I went to SCAD. I graduated from SCAD. I did my first 2 years at community college at Georgia Perimeter College in Atlanta.
That's nice. Yeah, I was looking at your work. Do you plan on having any clothes? I see you got ties and scarves and knots for guys. You plan on having any clothes for the guys?
Oh yes. Everybody asks me that. Yeah. I definitely on my long-term goals. I definitely plan on adding more apparel wear. I look up to like a lot of big brands like Versace and like Ralph Lauren. Even though they have accessories, they still do make clothes. So down the road, I would like to have like button-down shirts for men and different stuff like that.
Right. Growing up, who besides Sean John, or who are some of like the high-end brands that may have inspired you growing up?
Growing up, as a kid, we wore things. Huh?
or even now?
As a kid, brands change over time. So I think when I was very little, I used to wear stuff like Duckhead. And there was something like, oh, you like brands like that. And then Fat Farm, Rockaware, those are definitely some of the urban brands. But on the high end side, I love some designers such as Halston. I liked Bill Blass, Madeline Vianney, and Oscar de la Renta. Like I like, the various different Versace. It's definitely like a brand I look up to. Etro,
Yeah.
Cohan. Those are like Robert Graham. Those are definitely like brands that I look up to and try to make my brand a little bit similar to.
So do you know how to sew and all that too?
Do I do what now?
Do you know how to sew? Like you use a sewing machine?
Oh, do I know how to sew? Yes. So I went to Savannah College of Art and Design, and I studied fashion design. So with that, we were trained to learn how to do patterns. We had to learn how to sew. We had to draw, draw the garments. We had to make tat packs. And as I worked in the industry, I got to learn different sides of it, such as sourcing, getting fabrics, learning about fabric contents and the way wovens and knits and different things like that.
I actually just learned how to sew at the beginning of the pandemic because I went home for my friend's book launch back in early March. And this is when like the city started to first shut down. And I got on the plane and nobody really had a mask. But I had a mask, but I wanted something stylish. So I was thinking, how can I start getting these masks? So I learned how to sew. My grandma had got me a sewing machine like 2 years ago. So I went on YouTube. My grandma taught me how to sew through FaceTime. So I've been making masks too. I call it the masquerade. So I done made a few $1,000s selling masks in the last 2-3 months because of the pandemic. So I'm kind of
okay. So I must ask you, how do you like sewing as you don't learn how to sew?
I love it. I've been here. I haven't, like, my eyes started messing up. I was thinking I started needing glasses, but I've been up like doing 18 hours, 24 hours because I got so many orders making masks. So I love it. I had patches and I sew the patches on. I iron them on too, but I sew them on because I don't want to fall off. People be like, it's cheap mask. So I sew them on too so they won't fall off. But I love it. I mean, it's making me money. So I really love it. But it's cool. How long after the pandemic started did you start doing your mask?
I kind of caught on a little bit late. I mean, everybody was asking me to make masks, but at first I was a little like, I didn't really want to do it at first. And another thing is like, I don't really like sewing like that. So it's like, okay, do I, even though you want to make money, but I don't want to be doing something that I don't really like.
You kind of breaking up.
So I decided to collaborate with another designer here in Atlanta and basically help out with the sewing. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You
Am I still on? Can you hear me? Am I still on?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah, so I kind of.
I can't hear you now. Hello?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, I kind of was a little bit late to the whole making mask things, but I'd collaborated with another designer here in Atlanta, and it kind of helped out a little bit for us with the marketing and also for just having help with being able to get things sewn real fast as well. So.
Right. That's nice. Why you don't like sewing?
I think everybody has different strengths, and I feel like you focus on the strengths that you're really good at. And so for me, I'm more so good at doing art than I am in designing. So
I asked David and Jay earlier who are some of their favorite artists growing up and now. Who are some of your favorite artists?
What you mean artists, like visual, designer wise, or
visual painters? Like I told him Basquiat was one, so artists like that.
I would say I definitely have a mentor that I look up to. His name is Mr. Steve Allen. He's an Olympic artist. So I would say when I was in high school, I definitely looked up to him because I would call him at least once a month or something, and I try to get some inspiration and listen to like the words of wisdom that he gave me just being in high school. Because like wanting to be an artist, sometimes you always hear the stories of like starving artists, and you hear like people can't really make money with making art. And so he was an artist that was around that I did see making money and that was really making a living from it. And so I would say I definitely was inspired from him because he was always giving me advice on how I should differentiate myself and my brand and how what to stand up for. And he also gave me advice in just like selling my art, how to make the pricing for it, the different types of art, how to make things limited edition. He would let me come to his house and make G clay prints and different things of my personal artwork. So I would say he definitely was somebody that inspired me and an artist that I look up to.
Do you plan on trying to have a storefront one day?
Somebody else asked. Why everybody asks those questions? I would say
because I was gonna say, what do you think about not having one? Because ordering online is so good now, so it take away the overhead. So what's your opinion on that? Or do you still want to have one, maybe in Buckhead or something like that? High end.
I feel like if I had a flagship store, it would be further down the road, maybe 10 years from now, or maybe when I'm in 10 years in business. But that way, because right now it's not a necessity, like you said, the overhead costs and just everything. But I do think it is good for marketing, and it is good for people to know, like you have a location they know they can always come back to. But for me, being a new brand and emerging brand, I don't feel that it's a necessity. It would be more so a cost. I'd rather just sell my stuff in various other people's stores or just online than me, generate, allocating money for that. So.
Is there a difference between, this might sound like a stupid question, but I don't know. Is there a difference between a seamstress and a tailor?
I feel like they more so call tailoring for like more things would deal with menswear, like suits, different things like that. And then more so seamstresses, they would more so call that for stuff that deal with women, like making dresses and different things like that. So
he's like a king and a queen, basically.
Yeah, but when you're tailoring though, you think of more so like suits. You know what I'm saying? Like more things that are more structured. Structured. So
how were you able to get your clothing, your apparel into the hands of different celebrities like Lynn Whitfield and Wale, and I think I seen a Little Baby, a Young Thug, or somebody like that? How are you able to do that?
Every scenario has been quite different. It has been from me doing pop-up shops and meeting them there. It's been me being in the mall and seeing a celebrity there and approaching them. It's been me finding their stylists and working with them, and or finding the costume designer and working with them, and them deciding to give it to that artist and having that vision of them, to be able to wear those pieces.
Right. When you pick out your fabric, like what's your process? How do you know like which kind of fabrics you want and like your manufacturer and everything like that?
With fabrics, I feel like everybody designed different. Like some people, like when I was in school, some people design first by having fabric, and then they start draping it on a mannequin, and they feel like, oh, I want to create that. And then some people start designing by a sketch. So I would say I do a combination of both. Overall, though, I create accessories, so I just about know what kind of fabrication I want to use. Or sometimes, though, I may see something in the store, and then I may then like want to create something that's very similar. So I just research, how is it made? Look at it, and also I look at things if it's woven, different things like that or whatever. More so how I could pick my fabric, but overall, I know what kind of fabric I want to use because most of the time I use 100% silk. So
yeah, it look real look real nice on the site. Like this feel good. Put this on me right here. Like it feel good. I kind of been dealing with that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say like so if you looked on my website, I do pick different things, like different types of weight of fabric. So like for my dusters and my kimonos, a lot of times I use like a lightweight transparent fabric because I want it to be very flowy. But then some of my scarves I may make it like a thicker fabric just because sometimes I try to promote it to be like a halter top or something like that. So it just all varies on the, what kind of vision I have in my mind, so.
I read that you have one of your paintings in the St. Petersburg in Russia in the museum over there.
Yes, sir. That opportunity happened when I was in college, actually, and it was another one of my mentors, Mr. Lyndon Longino. He's the founder of International Paint Pals, and he was going over there doing a speech, and it was about peace, friendship, and goodwill. And he had a speech where he titled it. It was a Virgil quote, "As the twig bends, so the tree inclines." And so he asked me to create a painting that would relate to that speech. And he presented the painting in front of the National Russian Museum in St. Petersburg. And then the the coordinators of the gallery was like, "We like it so much that they decided to hang it in the museum."
Nice. You
Can you hear me?
You haven't been able to see it to go over there?
Well, actually, no. I have not been to Russia before. That's somewhere definitely on my to-do list.
What's your favorite item you made? I was looking on your site and I was looking at the green pink cape. I think that'd be nice for my mom.
Oh, really? Is she an AKA?
No, she's not an AKA. I just like the colors, how it look. I think it would look nice on her. I know a lot of AKAs though.
Oh, that's what's up. You can't ask an artist that because to me, all my pieces I create, I like. The stuff that I wear the most is my scars, and I do have a sample that I wear a lot. That is a silk button-down shirt. But overall, though, I like just about everything I create. I mean, but the kimonos I love too, but I don't personally get to wear that because just me being a male. But I do like the way it looks on women, so I really like everything, to be honest with you.
All right. And I'm gonna ask all of y'all as we close out, David and Jay, what's next for y'all?
We are working on a comic book to possibly go into cartoons and stuff, dealing with somebody well known. I can't really get into the details of the individual, but that's pretty much our next step. And just finalizing our brand as a household name. Like, I want to be Charmin. I want to be Lay's potato chips, brother. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want. I want it, like, when you say Charmin, you don't say toilet paper anymore. Because Charmin is the name. Like, let me get some Charmin. Like, that's what you say. Like, you say Clorox. You don't say bleach. Because these names are so embedded in your brain for the time of years. So that is the next venture for us. But we are just creating, brother. Whatever, we are fly by the night creators. So something might come up right after we get off the phone that might jump ahead of something we already have going on. So it's really just becoming well known and respected in the artist community for everything that we do.
Right.
Like, that's just what it is on my behalf, so to speak.
And David?
Yeah, Jay and I are working on a project that we're gonna pitch to a well-known celebrity, and which could turn out to be huge. There's a huge place in the market for it right now, especially with another well-known celeb that's connected to that celeb, and they've been getting a lot of shine right now. So we'll be hitting right there in the pocket with this presentation that we're working on now. We're almost we're putting the finishing touches on it, and we're gonna be presenting that. We have a way to get that to the person, and hopefully they pick it up, and then we'll be back again, to talk about that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what we're working on. Then we got actually, we came up with a dope app idea for a game. So that's gonna probably be the next thing that we work on, which is gonna be very labor intensive, but we're gonna go ahead and knock that out. So that's what we got like in the near future, what we got popping.
Okay. And you, Cedric, what's next for you?
Well, this year I celebrate 5 years in business, so I definitely want to be able. Well, later on this year, I was hoping to have like a big fashion anniversary party, but I had a lot of plans this year, and a lot of things have been postponed. So I can't really say like, certain things like, that was working, certain things that was in the works, um, have been delayed. However, at the same time, every year I bring out a new product. So of course I just brought out the face mask. I definitely plan on expanding and having new prints for my socks, more kimonos, more scarves, hopefully more collaborations, and also bring out some more new pieces. I always keep saying that I want to bring out some t-shirts, but people be thinking I'm joking. Like, why you want to bring out t-shirts? Or like button-down shirts. So eventually I think I will add just some more pieces probably by the end of this year.
Some men clothes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, men clothes, yeah, women clothes, everything. It's all about branding.
Right. Let people know where they can find all you at. You can go first, Cedric.
Okay, yes. My website is www.cedricbrowncollections.com. I'm on Facebook, Cedric Brown Collections. I'm on Instagram, Cedric Brown Collections. And I have some nice, beautiful pieces. You got to check them out. And also, next month is the premiere of Greenleaf season 5. And on this season of Greenleaf, expect to see some of my pieces on the show. It'll be I call it my Hollywood premiere. My first time having stuff on the show. So that's something you can stay tuned to watch next month on the show Greenleaf season 5.
It's tight. David and Jay?
You can find us at deucehistory.com. That's DEUCEHIZTORI.com. Also, you can follow us on IG, same thing, deucehistory.com. If you want to follow us personally, mine is David Deuce Mitchell Art. That's my IG. And Jay?
Mine is just history. I also have clothing line as well. Co-op Jeans, which is COHOP Jeans, JEANANS. Skateboard company, which is called Team Hubs, TEAMHUBZ. I have some other stuff.
Talk about that Hubs for a second. He actually invented a accessory for skateboarders. Talk to him for a second right there, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
I wasn't gonna get into it, but basically, Cedric, I've been doing clothes since I was 14. I started doing clothes and t-shirts due to the fact that I didn't want to sell the original artwork, so I started putting on clothes and things of that nature. So when I first moved to Vegas, there's a rule that you couldn't get on a bus without covering your skateboard wheels, and people were using Crown Royal bags and Walmart bags. And when I seen the Crown Royal bag, I was like, that's a dope idea. So then I kind of just put it together in my head to cover the wheels. So when you go to I don't have anything with me right now, but when you go to my Instagram, basically it's 2 bags that have a drawstring in the middle, and it goes over your shoulder. And the bag goes over your shoulder, and it's hands-free, has a little pocket for your keys or your bus pass and things of that nature. And when you're skating, it hooks onto your pants, and it comes in 5 different colors. It also has 5 different prints on it. So basically, it's almost like a fanny pack, but it doesn't go around your waist, and it just goes for skateboard purposes. I invented it. I actually went to a tailor. My friend's father was a tailor, and he sat down with me. We went over patterns and things of that nature. It took me years to even get it off the ground. It did pretty well. I mean, it's still doing well. It's just right now what's going on. So, like I said, it's team hubs, like hubs like a hubcap.
Okay.
So TEAMHUBZ on IG. You look at that and you can tap into it. It'll pretty much self-explanatory when you see it. But yes, I invented it amongst some other things.
Congrats on that.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Much love.
And I'm going to close out. My name is Jeevan Brown. You can find me on Jeevan A. Brown Instagram, Jeevan Brown on Facebook, JeevanBrown.com. You can go on Amazon to get my book, A Lesson Learned. You can go to get my mask at themasquerade.com. That's the mask with a K. It's also connected to my website where you can buy my book at. Everything's on my website. This is your WCEG Talk Radio. Good talking to y'all. Y'all be safe out there and be blessed.
All right, you too.
Great. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, man.